and welcome to my Ecuagenera import updates video. Today I'm going to give you an update on all of my plants that I bought from Ecuagenera. I'm being a bit cheeky. I'm actually including two plants that you haven't seen being unboxed or acclimated because I got them before I had my YouTube channel, so I didn't get to share that with you. So those are going to be the first two, and then the other 6 are ones that you have seen me unbox and acclimate. I'll put the thumbnails of the videos up so that you know what to look for if you haven't watched those videos yet already. A little any other business before we get going. I might sound out of breath in this video, and that is because I am. I've been feeling really rotten for a couple of weeks at this point, and it's kind of clicked as to why. I am more than likely anemic, like iron deficient. I have a blood test in a couple of days to kind of check, and I've started taking some iron tablets, but all of my symptoms point to being anemic at the moment, and being short of breath is part of that. So yeah, I've been feeling rough. You've probably heard me complain about it already in other videos or on Instagram. Yeah, if I seem out of breath, it's because I am. But I'm doing the things to look after myself, so please don't worry. I just wanted to explain why I'm huffing and puffing throughout this video. But let's get to the plants, shall we? If you've not been here before, my name's Amy. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's get to it. What happened to my voice? One of the first plants I ever imported from Ecuagenera was my Anthurium warocqueanum, my queen Anthurium. She currently has 2 leaves. This one, I'm not completely sure what happened with this one, but it's been stable. It's been like this for a while now, so I'm just kind of leaving it because I think I would like to try and make a skeleton leaf out of this one. So I'm just going to kind of let it absorb all of the nutrients from the leaf, let it die off naturally, and hopefully make a skeleton leaf out of it. Fingers crossed. I've got a video on how to make a skeleton leaf throughout the thumbnail now, but it's a really cool way of preserving leaves. There's something going on in here. I can feel that there's a bit of a bump. I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Oh, I think you probably won't be able to see, but with the light shining through it, I can see the possible caterpillar or flower that's gonna come out, but there's a bump here. Something's happening. Something's happening. We've got some roots here. It's in a kind of semi-hydro mix. All of the roots are beautiful and green. It hasn't got any water in at the bottom at the moment. It has been incredibly cold here. Hence the hat and the hoodie. Today I came in and the cabinet was like 10 degrees, so that's really cold. So I've been less inclined to put water in to let it sit at the bottom, even though those roots at the bottom are kind of water roots because that's all they've been sat in before. Like really cold water, it just doesn't sit well with me, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. It's supposed to warm up again a bit at the weekend, so I'm gonna put some water in then. But the end of the leaf has started to crisp a bit. I think it's because I let it dry out over the summer one time, and I think that's probably what started this one off as well. But yeah, other than that, that's my first ever Ecuagenera imported plant. There was another one in that order that we're going to look at now. So this is my Anthurium pallidiflorum. So the queen and this one were the 2 that I ordered in my first ever Ecuagenera order, and the one that I didn't film because I didn't have a YouTube channel. This one has, so when it arrived, I should say, the kind of more nice leaf on the queen came in like pretty much straight after it arrived on import, so I don't know if I can take all the credit for that one, but I got it to where it is, so pretty proud. When this one came, so this one was emerging when it got imported, so I don't take all the credit for that one, but it's very beautiful. This one this kind of funky shaped one was the one that came out completely in my care. I think I let it dry out, and that's why it kind of went a little bit bumpy, and like there's a hole just here, I think. And then this one is another one that's come out completely in my care, and you can see this little funky silhouette it's got going on. It got stuck whilst it was like trying to unfurl, and I spritzed it and it unstuck itself, but I don't, it's got like a little waistline, and like I'm not mad about it. I really love the pendant anthuriums. I'm a very, very big fan, so I'm really happy to have this one. This leaf is dying off, and apparently was ready to come off because I just snapped it off. It has had fungus gnats, which is why there is a fungus gnat catcher in here, but I haven't seen any for a little while, so I think we're good. This one has a much bigger leca layer at the bottom, so it's got water in there. There are no roots directly sat in there, but I can see that there are some roots here that are really quite healthy and happy. So yeah, not much to say about that one. That one sits on top of my shelves, so it's not in a cabinet. The queen is in the cabinet, but to be honest, the conditions inside of the cabinet compared to outside are not that different in my home. I haven't like sealed the cabinet, or I don't do anything special for it, so it's very similar. So that's that one. I feel like I'm missing one. I am missing one. Okay, so in the next order that I got, so the Anthurium Wart Queen, oh my gosh, catch your breath. So the Anthurium Wartqueenum and the Anthurium pallidiflorum, I think I ordered in March and I got them in April. This next order I placed in June and I got in August. And in that order there was I don't need to keep saying it. They're all anthuriums. I haven't ordered anything else from Ecuagenera. It's all been anthuriums. So I'm just going to stop saying anthurium. But this particular one, I can't. I'm not sure how to pronounce. Argyrostatium yasuni. I'm just calling him Arg. He's Anthurium Arg. And he is ridiculously long. He barely fits in the cabinet now. There are some beautiful roots. Just look at those. It's actually really interesting that, so this is the way it kind of sits in the cabinet, and all of the roots have grown around the back. Because I was like, it's not really rooting very well, but actually those roots look gorgeous. I hope you can see in the glare isn't like taking away from the roots. There are some really beautifully fuzzy roots. I'm going to take a picture of that after. Again, it's got a black leca layer at the bottom. There's no water in there. It did have water in there a couple of days ago, so it's obviously just kind of evaporated up or been sucked up. I'll probably again wait till the weekend when it's a bit warmer to refill that drainage layer. It did lose a couple of leaves, so we've got this one left, this one that has some kind of yellowing around the edges, this one, and then this petiole was the one where there was a new leaf on the way when it got imported and it just completely died off. And then in my care it's put out this one, which I have been wanting to try and get next to each other. Oh, it's bigger! Look at that! These marks are from my little strip lights in the cabinet. Yeah, accidentally got burnt, bless him. I'm up here. I'm really impressed with that leaf. It got stuck coming out. It did the like Cinderella shoe thing, so I had to give it a little hand, and I think part of that is why it's got these little rips in it. and it is touching the ceiling, so I think that's why it's kind of a little bit bent here. But I really love the texture. It's like a, I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like matte, and it has like a really subtle shimmer to it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Like I know it can't stay in the cabinet if I'm gonna keep it looking like this, and I don't know if I want to chop it. Look at these. You see those aerial roots? Like they're kind of pink. How cute. Yeah, I'm not completely sure what I want to do with this one, but he's cute for now. Just needs to stop, you know, just needs to not grow for a little bit so I can figure out what I want to do with it. One of the other anthuriums that was in that order was the Nigrolamnum Gigi. There is another name for it. Is it also called the Napo one? I don't know. And this is what it looks like. This is the one that it kind of like, I unpackaged it and it looked okay initially, and then gradually the leaves just kind of like plopped off, and like the stem bit had like just kind of rotted inwardly, and they all just flopped off. And I didn't think it was going to be salvageable, and I actually, so I've been communicating with Ecuagenera because the order was delayed, and they'd messaged me the day that it arrived, and I just emailed back saying like, oh, it's arrived, I'm concerned about one of the plants, sent them some photos, and they said that they would replace it. So there's another Nigrolamnum Gigi that I'm going to show you. But after they'd agreed to replace it, it did, like, it had a really good root system that you can kind of see here. I hope there's a green root in there. But it popped out this little leaf. It's not done anything since. There are two other, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but there's a growth point here, and right down here there's another growth point that's activated, and it does look like there's a new leaf coming in. So it's kind of doing something slowly. It's not looking its best. Wasn't quite what I expected when I put in that order. And the next one, oh, I'm kicking myself with this one. Every time I look at it, I kick myself. This is my Trunkicola. I know, she's beautiful, isn't she? Oh, it's completely my fault. She was okay, and then she wasn't, and I didn't do anything about it until it was too late. I think I was having a bit of a, like, I was in one of those phases where I was like, I need to do that, 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 and then I just never did do it. And like, you know, a month or so went by, and basically like the roots had rotted, then the stems started to rot. I'll show you like a clip of what she used to look like, because she used to be very pretty.
Hey, Editing Amy here. I've just popped in this little clip from the 1 month update video where I realised that it probably has root rot, and I'm saying that I need to deal with it. And at one point I say like I've not got the oomph to do it right now, but I will add it to my list of things to do to save it. And then I start saying how I'm not worried about it. It's got loads of nodes to work with, and if only I'd known. This video was only uploaded 2 months ago. We've gone from this with like 4 or 5 nodes to 1 single node left. Honestly.
And now she is this one stick. So at one point there was 3 wet sticks in here, and they all died. I'm a little bit, I can pull it out. So there's no roots on it, but there is, I hope you can see, there is this little bit here is an activated growth point. So there's hope. I think I'm gonna change this substrate. I don't know why I put it in pot. I think I'm going to put her into some moss and actually enclose her into something, because I feel like that will help roots and the growth point actually do something. So I vowed to do that after I finish filming this video. I will do that. And if I don't do that, I'll shame myself now. So that was my second Ecuagenera import order, and that's the first one that I filmed. So a reminder of the thumbnail for watching the unboxing and the acclimation. And so now we're on to the third and final one that I've done this year. Ooh, blinded. So I'm gonna start with the Nigrolaminum GG, because this was one that I didn't pay for. This was the replacement for the one that died. This one has done so much better, and like you can really see how dark and glossy those leaves are, like, aren't they stunning? This one's been doing really well. Look at all of these. So there's a dead leaf just there. Look at all of these new roots growing. The substrate looks great. I can't see any new roots actually growing into the substrate, but oh no, I can. Here's a new root here. I don't think you'll be able to see it though. And it did even start pushing out a new leaf, which is actually still here. So it started pushing out a new leaf and it got a bit stuck. So I did the thing that I always do when I see leaves are stuck, and I help it out, and I use my little water, like is it like a water brush pen? I've also filmed a video on how I help leaves out, so throw up that thumbnail here. God, this video is going to be full of thumbnails. And that way it's never failed me before. It's worked every single time, and it didn't fail me this time. However, I tried to take it one step further with my fingers, and I failed me. And here is the leaf that it tried to put out. I don't know why I left it in there. I think I just got so annoyed with myself and just put it back and put the plant back. Basically I'd like got it unstuck from the sheath, and then I tried to like pull it slightly so that it'd be a bit more out, and I just like it just snapped. I'm really annoyed about it. But considering it, so this third order has been it's been with me like literally just a month. Like at the time of filming it, we're like a couple of days away from it being a month since they've been with me, and when you're watching this it'll have been a month, so we're like right on the cusp. And the fact that it's already pushing out new roots, and it had started working on a new leaf, I think that's really fast for like acclimating and just, you know, enjoying life, especially considering it's like November, December, and we've had a really cold patch. So I'd say it's quite hardy, even with my experience of the other one. I think it didn't like the heat when I imported that one that time. My hair is annoying me. So yeah, I hope it can bounce back and start pushing out a new leaf again, and I will not ruin it. I promise I won't ruin your next one. Next up, this is the Velenorum. I'm not going to look at it because I feel like the word froze me because it's got like a lot of vowels in it. I think it's a Velenorum. I think that's how you pronounce it. And she looks exactly the same. There are a couple of yellow leaves down here and a couple of like bit of like rottiness going on. But she basically looks the same. I hope because of the light shining on it, it's really shimmery. Like these leaves have not, somebody commented on the other video saying that theirs melted, and these have been absolutely fine. So You can see there's a couple of yellow ones down here. There is some kind of like sort of mold on the roots. Oh, so I don't really know. I don't know if that's because it was like dead. Oh, I think it's just because it was dead. There was some dead plant matter in there and it's just rotted. That's fine. Sometimes you do get mold on the top, like on the surface of plants. You just scrape it off, it's fine. When I got this one, it did have a inflow that died off, and I don't know if I can show you. This here is a cataphyll, and I'm not sure at the moment if it's going to be a new leaf or another inflow. Either way, I don't mind. It's been really happy. It has pushed out some new roots. I think it's doing okay. I've not got much else to say about it. Up next is my Peltigerum, and this was like the main reason I did my last Ecuagenera import order. I really wanted this plant. I think it maybe lost one leaf, but other than that it looks very, very similar. I love, what is it called? Is it peltate? I think it's peltate. When the petiole is in the middle of the leaf as opposed to at the edge. So I think in the Anthurium world, the Peltigerum and the Forgetii, are they the only ones that have it like that? Other than like hybrids of those? I might be wrong, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's called peltate, and I just really love, the kind of shape of these leaves. They're so cool. It's just such a alien-esque leaf. This split here, I think is where the leaf had been folded when it was imported, and that's just how it's kind of healed itself. It's fine. There is, oh my, that's blinding. It's like, what time is it? It's like 3:15, so, and it's winter, so the sun is like setting right there. So hopefully you can see this new leaf. It's just doing its thing. It is taking its time, but I'm just happy that it's still emerging. So it came with this, like in the cataphyll, and it's kind of emerged. It's just taking its time in getting there. There are no new roots that I can see, and I've heard that they're really difficult to root. So I'm worried that it's just gonna push out this leaf and then not do anything for a while. Like, I'm worried that it's, like, I love that it's pushing out a new leaf, but I feel like it might just be pushing out a new leaf and it's not working on any roots. I really, really hope it does get some new roots. I would love to see new root growth. But other than that, it seems pretty stable, pretty happy in the cabinet, I think. Now we're on to the last Anthurium, and it's really, I'm really enjoying this Anthurium. I wasn't expecting to. Like, when I got it, I knew I really liked it, but this plant has had my attention quite a lot recently. So, with no further ado, is that the same? My Anthurium sagittatum. I'm just going to put a clip up of what this plant looked like when I unboxed it, because it had all of these, you know, beautiful, beautiful leaves, and this new one looked like crap. The petiole was all twisted. It was like like, it looked awful. And I think I said in that video, like, I don't think this leaf's gonna make it, and that's such a shame because the petiole looks really thick, so I reckon it would have been a big leaf. And it's really shocked me. So I didn't really talk about the other substrates. So they're all in really similar substrate, basically a real chunky semi-hydro-esque kind of mix. And I had to put this one in a big vessel because it had a really big root system, and I remember saying it looked ridiculous because the size of the plant, like ignoring this bit, the size of the plant compared to the rest of the pot looked so silly. But I don't think it looks so silly anymore because of the new leaf. And like, I stand by the petiole. The petiole is much bigger, like I think, so this was the leaf before it. I hope you can kind of see the difference in the thickness compared to that one. So that was kind of how I knew that this new leaf had potential to be big. And then when it started unfurling, the other sign that I saw where I was like, oh, that leaf could be really big if it hit its full potential, was because of the sinus. So again, this is the previous leaf. Can you see how, like, I suppose narrow this sinus, for God's sake. Can you still see? I don't know. So this V shape here is the sinus. And like, I mean, compared to this one, it's really narrow, isn't it? So when those kind of like ears emerged, I was like, oh my God, they're so far apart. This leaf has so much potential. And I thought it's probably, you know, it's still not going to reach its full potential because it's got damaged. It was imported whilst it was unfurling. But I love it. I love you. It's just so pretty, and it's still very light in colour compared to these leaves. They're very dark, so it's still got a way to go. It's not going to reach its full potential that it could have met because of this kind of ripping, and I think this was when it got imported, it dried out, like there was going to be some damage, but wow, I love it. Like, it's kind of like got pink veining almost on the back, and that's another thing I really enjoy. The veining's really quite prominent, and it can feel quite sharp on your fingers, like when you run your hands over it, and I really enjoy that. And there's a shimmer to these leaves that's almost, I don't think this light's going to capture it, but they're really deep green that has almost a very subtle bluey tinge, and I'm really excited about where this plant could go, like how big these leaves could get. And the sinus is just beautiful, the petiole's beautiful. I'm just really loving this plant right now. So there are some new roots in here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, but just here is a big fuzzy white one, which makes me really happy to see. Yeah, I'm so happy with that. It's just beautiful, and I'm rambling. So what else do I need to say about this video? I suppose all of these anthuriums have had the same kind of treatment. They've come in, if you have watched the acclimation videos from the unboxing ones, you'll see what treatment I give. All of these have been, have they? So all of them, apart from the Pallidiflorum, have been in my cabinet, but like I said at the beginning, the cabinet environment compared to the like shelf environment is not that different. So I said earlier that in the cabinet, and I think out of the cabinet as well, it got to like 10 degrees, which is really low for inside. It was -6, I think, overnight, and then today it's been like -3. I don't think it's got above 0 degrees today, but even with that low temperature, the sun's been out, there's been no clouds, and because of our south-facing windows and like the sun being low and just like literally it's just been there all day, it got really hot in here, and it's now over 18 degrees in the cabinet, so the plant's probably quite confused. And with the sun is setting currently, and the temperature is going to drop again pretty drastically. I'll try and keep the kind of warmth in this room from the day, just so I don't have to, you know, put the heating on. But the temperature will drop, it will. So that'll be a bit of a shock for them, I imagine. But yeah, I'm not really doing too much. I'm not doing anything special to look after my plants this winter. If they can't tolerate the cold, they can't tolerate the cold. There is a squirrel on my balcony. I think I'm done. I think those are my updates. So the Queen and the Palladiflorum, that is there. That is their 8-month update. Not that you got to see them be unboxed or anything. 8-month update, September, October, November, December. The Anthurium Arge, Trunkicola, and the first Nigrolaminum GG, that is their 4-month update, I think. And then the other Nigrolaminum GG, the Villanorum, squirrel's distracting me, the Peltigerum and the Sagittatum, it is their 1-month update. Okay, I'm gonna end the video there. My brain is blanking. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna throw up the thumbnails one more time of the unboxings and the acclimation videos, just in case you've missed them and you're interested in watching them. I will try and remember to link them down below, but I don't always remember to link in the description, so I'm sorry if I didn't do that. If you have any questions about like ordering from Ecuagenera or the acclimation process, pop them in the comments. I will keep an eye on the comments when this video goes live and reply to you. And so I will definitely be ordering again from Ecuagenera next year. I'm not sure when, because we are saving to move out. We're hoping to get the ball rolling on having, like, you know, a mortgage and a house and being proper grown-ups. So I don't know when I'll be able to afford to place a bigger order with Ecuagenera, but I'll budget and save, and maybe I won't put myself on a plant ban because I don't really believe in them, but I'm just going to try and be like way more mindful with money and plants than I have been, and I think I've been pretty mindful this year, I think. Anyway, I'm waffling. That's a subject for a whole other video. The squirrel that I've mentioned already in this video is digging around in my outdoor pots. I put food out for the birds and the squirrels, although it's mainly for the birds, and I reckon he's probably buried some food in my outdoor pots. Like, all those plants are dying. Like, I don't care that he's digging around in them, but it's making a mess. Anyway, for goodness sake, just end the video. If you haven't watched my I've got ADHD video, like, this stuff makes sense to me now, like why I can't end videos, why I start waffling, why I get distracted, like all of this stuff that makes like editing Amy's job hard, all makes sense. Okay, actually ending the video now. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed seeing these updates. Let me know if you'd like to continue seeing these updates, and if I should like tag in any future orders or any other imports that I've done, because I have done imports from Indonesia before. Did I say give this video a thumbs up? Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye. Oh my God, why was that so hard?